everything changes.
Hey, welcome in everybody to the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me again. And today I am doing a Zoom call with a very special young lady. Some of you may recognize her from some previous interactions I've had, including an e-commerce trade show, Midwest Ecom, a couple years ago. She's our friend Ashlyn Haddon from Ashlyn Haddon Insurance. And because I get so many emails and messages from you guys, my audience, about business insurance and covering yourselves, and she has a great slogan for that we'll get into in a second. But I wanted to bring her on to give you all the information for any of you interested in that. So first I want to introduce her, let her tell you a little bit about herself, and then we will discuss everything you need to know about insurance. So Ashlyn, it's all you.
Hey, young lady. I haven't been called that in a long time.
Oh, come on.
Hey, Rockstars. My name's Ashlyn Haddon. I am the owner of Ashlyn Haddon Insurance. I am in the lovely state of Indiana, in the middle of the cornfields and the soybeans. That's about all we've got.
That's about it.
What, Indiana Beach, if it's not closed. I kind of started my insurance career kind of by a fluke. I was interviewing for a position and the guy said, this is a man's industry and those men out there will outsell you every day. So I said, I'll take the job and I'm going to prove you wrong. So I was the rookie of the year, top rep in the state, third in the entire company, accepted my award on stage and said, who can't sell insurance now? So I kind of fell into this. And then I kind of fell into this crazy ecom world that you guys live in. One of my customers came to me and said, hey, I'm selling online and Amazon has changed the rules and I need this ecom policy. And I was like, e-commerce, what the heck is that? What do you do? How do you do it? No one likes you. There's no way, Chris, that I'm ever going to be able to help you. And he kept pushing and pushing. So a couple of months went by and I was able to get him this policy. And he came back and it's like, hey, I run this Facebook group and there's 15,000 of us in here that are going to need this. Can I post your information? So I kind of got tossed into your crazy world, but I completely have fallen in love. I eat, sleep, and breathe Amazon just like all of you guys. eBay, Wayfair, Jet, Shopify. I mean, this is my life now. So I've been to 30 conferences now. I've spoken at 30 conferences now. I've traveled to China to see how my customers are sourcing. So I mean,
Wow.
I'm in deep. You guys
I didn't know you had actually gone out. Yeah, I didn't know you had gone out there. How long have you been selling ecom insurance?
This
or just
is my
insurance
fourth year. Yep. So this is my fourth year of ecom, 6 years in just commercial insurance altogether.
Very nice. When Chris reached out to you, it was Chris that reached out to you. From the time that you helped him to you got him all set up, and then fast forwarding now to 4 years, there's been a lot of change. It's just a whole different world, right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned, you actually touched on it with the whole Amazon thing, which we'll talk about in a second, because there are different platforms, different rules.
Right.
Yep. So tell me, the question I've gotten to in the last, and this is what spurred me, because you and I have been going back and forth trying to get our schedules together for a couple of, well, it was a couple of weeks, and then the whole planet shut down, and it was like fast forwarded. So that was my first point. What has changed, or what has it been like this year since everything shut down? Have you been seeing a lot more people contact you like, oh my goodness, like just give me a little bit of your 2020 recap, year in review so far.
2020 recap has been crazy. So January was kind of slow, and then this whole COVID thing happened and everyone's like, oh crap, I'm selling a crap ton more online. Maybe I'm more at risk. Then we saw an uptake in claims February and March. Because so many more people were buying online, they forget that it's, or don't even know that it's a third-party seller. They think it's Amazon. And when the economy goes to, excuse my language, hell in a handbasket, people look for any way to make money quick. And
that's sad, but true.
Money quick is sue somebody. So they were like, man, I'm going to sue Amazon. I'm going to sue Amazon. So we saw this huge uptake in potential claims against Amazon. So hopefully that kind of made people think, hey, I'm not, I'm still just as at risk behind a computer as if I did have a brick and mortar.
Yeah, not invincible. That's true.
Right.
And I didn't even get a chance to ask Ashlyn before this about that uptick in claims. And I thought about that like literally today. I was like, oh, I wonder how many more there have been, like the numbers and percentages over the last 3 months or 4 months. That's crazy. And we're just kind of more casual on this channel. So yeah, everything went to shit. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, good.
YouTube and podcasts don't get on you too much unless you're like dropping F-bombs everywhere.
Okay, good.
So let's go into that. And you mentioned like the at-risk, obviously depending on what you sell, somebody that sells t-shirts may not be as high risk as somebody that's selling vitamins or something that you're putting in your body or on. Amazon is really strict about, I know this from getting ungated in certain things, anything you put on your skin, on your body, or in your body is absolutely a higher risk, higher stringent.
On your body, in your body, for a pet or for a baby. Yep. Those are your big, huge.
I wish I had interviewed you last year during that baby that bought, or the parents that bought the baby's teething necklace off of Etsy. And then the child was strangled and they filed lawsuit against Etsy for that. And Etsy passed the buck onto the third party. And then I had done a story a week later about a girl that bought a dog leash off Amazon. And it was one of those retractables that snapped back in her eye. And because they couldn't track the company in China, Amazon passed that and said, we're not responsible. And so now it's in federal court, I think in Pennsylvania.
Yep. And they are the lady, I don't remember if it was a lady or a man, but she ended up being a architect. And she's saying now that she can't work for the rest of her life. And she's like seeking huge damages because she can't work.
Yep. And so that, that company was in China, but that could have happened to somebody here, a retractable, who knows, you bought a pallet of stuff from Amazon Returns or whatever, and you sell it and that happens, boom, that lawsuit was tens of millions. So that's where I wanted to start with like the importance of this. So kind of give me beyond that obvious, like devastating worst case scenario, what other kinds of things should people be concerned about as far as covering themselves?
A lot of people come back to me and say, well, I don't private label, I just resell, I just wholesale, I just drop ship, so I really don't have a risk. Well, we just went through a claim a couple of years ago where the guy was just complete RA. He was just reselling other items, bought something online, shipped it, UPS or USPS put it on his doorstep, and he walked out, tripped over the box, broke his hip and broke his clavicle. Well, he still sued Amazon, he sued USPS, and he sued our seller. So even if you're not manufacturing something and you're just drop shipping something, you still absolutely could be pulled into a lawsuit. And it costs the carrier over $40,000 to defend him from the lawsuit and say, hey, drop our client's name. They are not responsible for this dude's actions. He's an idiot and tripped over a box. Drop our client. But if he wouldn't have had a policy, he would have had to hire that attorney and spent $40,000 to defend himself. So he didn't get the $1 million lawsuit.
Yep. And it's more, from what I understand, if you don't have an insurance policy, they're more apt, because people know that an insurance policy has an X amount of coverage.
Right.
And when they know that it's not like coming out of your pocket, they'll try to push hard to try to get that money. I know that. So, that insurance company is going to fight for you as well. So,
and I don't know if you know this or not, Casey, but insurance companies don't like to pay out.
Right. Yeah. They're not going to let somebody just push for it. Yeah.
Exactly. So they have the best damn attorneys to say, no, we're going to settle this. We're going to push because we don't want to pay $1 million. We'd rather pay $40,000 and get your name dropped from the lawsuit than ever have to pay $1 million.
Right. Yeah. And they will. Their attorneys for insurance companies are nuts, as opposed to going it on your own and finding some guy working out of his kitchen. Yeah. Great.
Right. At $450 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one insurance policy, like 1 year of your premium, would pay an hour of your attorney. So
and I put these talking points that we have, and I just put what are the pros for insurance, and that's just having a team, having somebody behind you. I mean, that's probably the biggest one.
Not to toot a broker's horn like myself, but having a broker who knows what you're doing, how you're sourcing, and how to protect yourself. They're going to give you the policy that's right for you as an ecom seller. That's going to be different than a brick and mortar store. Yep. And you also have a broker who is going to help you in case of a claim. And then if your rates ever go up, your broker is the one that shops that for you. So not only should you have insurance, but you should have a broker who has your best interest at heart too.
Because yeah, that's important. And I know this from a car insurance side, it's different, but car insurance has, anybody that has it knows that it's got coverage for people in your car, coverage for people in another car, coverage for stuff that you hit, coverage for your own stuff. And depending on your levels or what you do and don't have, if something happened and you took out somebody's Porsche sitting in their driveway because you hit it and you didn't have enough coverage to cover stuff that you hit, you're going to have to pay that difference. So you got to have everything included in an insurance policy. I just went through this because I changed car insurance, and they asked me about all the different things. And I'm like, they're like, how much coverage do you have if you run somebody over? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I hope enough. and so,
I hope. No more knocking on wood, okay? Come on.
The way this year's going, yeah, tell me about it.
Right?
So the big question everyone's going to ask, we just talked about it a second ago, what can we expect? And I'm going to disclaimer this first. Do not hold her to prices, and everyone is different. But in general, for somebody who's at home selling eBay, Amazon, Posh, what do we expect for price-wise?
Yeah. So again, it does absolutely vary by what you're selling, where you're sourcing from, what state you live in, and what your sales are. If you're just doing wholesale retail arbitrage and you're under $250,000 in sales, you can look at potentially between $500 and $700 a year for the whole entire year. That covers every platform you're selling on. It covers your business as a whole, not just Amazon, not just eBay, not just Poshmark. It is your business is what we're covering. Now, if you start moving up above that, then you might be in the 700 to 800 range. If you're private labeling, you might be in the $1,500 range. And again, that's just general liability with products liability.
Is that $1 million?
That's $1 million. Yep.
$1 million general liability.
Yep. And that's what Amazon requires you to have if you're a pro seller.
Yeah. So Amazon's pro seller is anything over $10,000 a month in gross sales, not profit. It's gross sales, $10,000 a month. And if you do that for 3 months, like that's it. It only requires, so like if you do 5,000 a month and you go over 10 grand one time for the month or for the year, they may not require it, but it's still a really good idea. But if you are up near that number, it's an absolute requirement, and it's an instant suspension, and they won't let you back on. So definitely for you Amazon sellers
that they're going to start requiring it for everyone. And it's going to start being required to be uploaded into Seller Central, or they're going to start suspending.
Oh, wow.
So we haven't heard like what the date is, but we've heard in 2020 that that's going to be the rule. So
there you go.
Hopefully that'll like get some of these bad actors off the platforms. And right now there's no rules on the eBay side, which I think there should be more rules on the eBay, because you're potentially flipping used items, which is a higher risk. So
right, yeah, I never realized. So there's some other platforms. Shopify has some requirements too, depending on numbers. And I never understood eBay not doing it. Maybe they will. Maybe things will change. But if you are an eBay seller, used items, used is way more risk. I agree, 100%.
Absolutely.
So definitely think of that for your business. Anybody, and I'll do this at the end as well, and I'll provide the information below if you're watching YouTube. If you're going to listen to this on a podcast or other audio, I'll put it in the description of this episode with Ashlyn's email and website. Definitely go to the website, check it out. They can put in a request for you to quote and everything, right?
And it's super easy, I promise. It doesn't take a long time. We do this 20 times a day, 5,000 times we've done this, so we know the questions to ask. It's not like you're going to pick up the phone and try to call Progressive and they're like, what? You ship FBA? What's FBA?
Yeah, that was an hour call with Progressive.
Yeah.
So that's exactly.
We know what we're doing. We know what to ask. I promise it is super, super easy.
What do they need to have?
Yeah, so good question. The biggest thing you're going to need to have that you might not have like right handy is your store links. We need to see what you're selling. We need to make sure you're not selling grenades and fidget spinners with knives on the end of it. So any type of store link that you have, we need to make sure that we get those. That's really the only thing that you're probably not going to know. Other than that, the biggest question we get is sales. We ask what your sales are going to be for the next 12 months. And people's like, well, I don't know. Well, you have to make your best guess. If you make me guess, I'm going to guess high. So just make your best guess of what you're anticipating your sales going to be for the next 12 months.
Okay.
Other than that, name, business address, physical address, if you have stocks that you want us to cover, those kinds of things.
Perfect. So I will put, again, the contact information wherever you're listening, watching will be here. I'll put it again at the end. It's www.ecom.insure. And then it's her email, which again will be like sales@ashlynhaddeninsurance.com. And I'll put them down there so you can copy and paste them, everyone.
You can find me on Facebook all the time, Ashlyn D. Haddon.
Yeah, right. She's on my Facebook as a friend. She's in the group, so you can message me, guys, or email me if you need me to send it to you as well. So we'll do that. Do's and don'ts. What should they be thinking about as far as running a business, and getting insurance? Things they should do, don't, things they should add.
Yeah.
Things that people may sell. What do you see regularly? Like outside of the norm, what do you see where things add on to the policies or?
Yeah. So don't assume your personal insurance is going to cover your inventory. That's a big one. Okay. If you have inventory in your house or your garage or your storage unit, it is not covered by your homeowner's insurance unless you can lie to them and get them to believe that you have 10,000 toothbrushes because you like to use a new toothbrush every time you brush your teeth. They're going to know it's for a business and it's going to be excluded. So don't assume anything. Always ask questions. Even if I'm not, your agent, you feel free to reach out to me. You can always add business personal property is what it's called to your policy. So that's going to include your inventory. That's going to include your dyno printers. That's going to include your prepping materials. All of that stuff can be included on your policy. So if you have a fire or you have a theft, the insurance company literally says, here's your money. The insurance company is here to make you whole. It's not here to make you better. So if you spent 10 cents on a CD and you think you're going to get $50 out of it, the insurance company is not going to give you $50. Nope. They're going to make you whole. They're going to give you your money back.
Right. You're always your costs, which is another do that I stress to everyone and scream at everyone. Please keep receipts or have digital copies of bank statements or PayPals or whatever you've used. Please, God, every one and two of you do not have your cost of goods or receipts, and it drives me insane because if you are forced to file an insurance claim, that's the only way you're going to prove what you paid for it.
Yep, and that was my next do. Do take a video of your workspace and your inventory. So if you're working from home, take a quick video with your phone, scan everything, open every drawer, open every closet, open every box. Because when you have a claim, the insurance company literally is going to make you write down every single thing that you want reimbursed for. I know this because I have gone through a fire claim before. I had to say how many rolls of toilet paper, how many tampons, how many pins, everything. If you don't write it down, they are not going to give you the insurance money for it. And it's really hard when you have 2,000 square feet to remember what was in every single drawer in every closet. Then send that to someone. Don't just keep it there in your location because when there's a fire, guess what it burns up to? So send it to me. Send it to your attorney.
Upload it to Dropbox or something.
Exactly. Put it someplace safe that if you do have a fire, that you're not just burning up your only resource of how to get reimbursed.
And that goes for everyone. This is another one. I have a lot of Florida people and Southern people watching. Hurricane season just started last week or 2 weeks ago. God, it's already halfway through June. So the flood will do the same. Also remember, guys, here on, if you do, and that's a really big point. I found this out 2 years ago, Irma, when we evacuated. So a lot of people may not know this. Our homeowner's insurance does not cover hurricane damage unless it's the wind took the roof off and the water comes in. If the water comes up, it's flood damage. It's different. So we carry 2 insurance policies, which I got. We didn't have any damage, thank God, but I got both coverages. And then I asked about the business. And I was like, well, now that I have flood insurance, if it floods my garage where I have a lot of inventory, flood insurance will not cover business assets or business anything. They only cover the home. That's
business is business, personal is personal.
Yep.
Water from outside the house coming in is flood, and that's never covered.
Never.
Ever.
The only thing that flood insurance, because a lot of people got separate flood insurance, they've now gotten it, and Florida did a big push to get people to buy it. The only thing it's going to do is replace what it costs to rebuild that house. That's it. They will strip it down. They'll rebuild it, whatever's. So they tell you, pretend like you flip your house upside down and shake it.
Yeah.
None of that is covered. It's just structural and to rebuild the house. That's it. So
you are doing a great job. You want to be an insurance agent?
No. Could do this though. Yeah. Well, I know I'd have to do all this because like I freak out. I'm so scared. I'm like, because I'm the one that's not going to have something, and my whole house is going to be floating down the street somewhere, and I'm going to be really upset about it. So
guess what? I can't insure a burning house or a burning business or a flooded business.
Yeah.
Gotta have your policy before you have a claim. I've had so many people come to me and say, "Hey, I just had something stolen," or "My warehouse just flooded. I just had a theft. Can you insure me?" No, I can't.
That would be awesome because any of us that had a car accident would just never pay car insurance and wait till we hit someone.
Hey, my house is on fire. Can you insure the contents of it? No.
I'm standing out front looking at it burn. Yeah, no.
Sure, for $1 million.
Yeah, they don't take too kindly to that in the law enforcement circles.
It's called insurance fraud.
Yeah, so think about it now. Hurricane season usually doesn't get bad until August. September is the worst months. So please don't wait around and try to pull that card. Then get insurance now. Get your house ready. Get your business protected. You got some months. It's June 17th, so July, August. You got at least 2 or 3 months. How long do they take? 30 days to take effect?
Usually, on the flood side, yeah.
Okay, so
but
there you go.
Your liability policy, you can pay today and have it effective today. So your business insurances doesn't take that long.
Yep. Okay, so I want to point out a few. There are other people that do, and these are questions that I can recall from my email on reseller side. People with brick and mortar stores, you handle those as well as online?
Absolutely. Yeah, we even do home, auto, and life insurance. So we do all of that stuff too. So we're your one-stop shop for e-commerce sellers.
So there you go.
Everything you need to be protected to protect your assets.
If not to protect, yeah, I'm gonna have her do that in a second. But so the bundling and anything else, at least if you're gonna call about a business insurance policy, ask about the other ones. It can't hurt just to get the price. If you have brick and mortar, that's fine. I have people that set up shops like temporary stores, like they do flea markets, they do vintage antique booths. All of that can be covered.
Absolutely. So the way it works, like just a reminder, is we're insuring your business. So as long as those business operations funnel through your normal business, then yes, we would cover that under the same policy.
Okay. So I know there's a lot of you that have antique booths and flea market stops, so that's possible. Multiple. Okay, so I have a guy that runs 2 locations out of 2 states. His family runs one of them in like New Mexico, and he's in Arizona. They have like a brick and mortar location and then a warehouse. Yep. And what about doing it in any state, outside of states, multiple states?
Absolutely. Yep, we can do all that. So I'm licensed in every single state. Again, as long as it's funneled through the same business entity, it would be one policy with just multiple different locations.
There you go. So any of that stuff, and if any of your situations you think don't fall in this, which I doubt, just email her or me and we'll get you the answer and find out for you. So I think that's everything everyone needs. Anything else off the top of your head that you think they should need to know?
I don't think so. If you guys have questions, reach out to me. Yep. I'm pretty available.
Pretty available now.
Pretty lame.
Are you working home or are you working?
No, so we're in the new office. So we just opened a brand new office. We got rid of the old, dingy, stinky 3rd floor office and have a brand new build.
I saw the pictures with the graphics.
Yeah, so we love it. I even we've been pretty stressed out lately. So the girls are like, "Hey, can we have like a room where we can de-stress?" And so I made us a Zen room with like the little sand art and the music and the lights.
This is so off topic, but last night I saw somebody post something with sand art that kids could eat made out of, I'm going to have to Google it now, but they made the sand art in a box, like you make sand art and then kids could eat edible sand art. I'm just going to Google it right now while we're on here.
Is it made out of sugar?
I'm going to find out. Sandcrafters edible sand art for kids. Yeah, it may have been made out of some kind of, if it was sugar, it's such a bad idea. I'm not even going to.
Well, everything made for kids.
And you have children, so you know how that. Pucker powder candy sand art. I don't know. I'll send you the link later. It can't be good because if you're going to feed kids a bunch of sand art, edible stuff.
Can you imagine kids just like.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's funny. A Zen room and an insurance agency.
Yeah.
I'll add that to the list.
There you go. And a full bar. So stop in Indiana.
Yeah, if you're local to Indiana, yeah, hit her up, stop in, get a policy. Yep. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna provide all the contact information. If you go to her, for two reasons. One, I wanna know how many of you sign up so I can shout you out and do stuff. Please let her know that you came over from seeing this video or hearing the podcast. And two, once she gets a whole bunch of people, she'll know that she owes me dinner or drinks or something next time we all get together in a conference.
Edible sand art.
But please, and sand art, yeah. So please just let her know Rockstar sent you. And if you do get a policy, if you do end up getting a policy and going through it, please contact me back after you guys finalize everything, or Ashlyn can, and let me know, like, hey, I ended up getting a policy, thank you, because I can use it for reviews. She can use it for putting on websites and stuff. So we'd love to have, your actual experience and let us know how it went, and what kind of policy, however much you want to share about it, but we would love that. So please let me know.
If you guys use hashtag Rockstar, then we'll give you 50% off any of the agency fees. So if there's an agency fee, we'll give you half off just by mentioning this podcast.
Look at that, a discount too. So yeah, make sure you tell her that I sent you, me. All right, cool. So we're gonna wrap that up. I'll post this hopefully. Today's June 17th when we're recording it. I'm gonna try to get it up, and you guys will hear it by June 19th at the latest. And I'll have all Ashlyn's information, email, website contacts, all down there. Please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know if you need anything. Ashlyn, is there anything else you want to leave with?
Thanks so much for your time, guys.
Thank you for having us into your office. I love her picture. If you're watching the video, you can see her behind it. You can see her graphics. And I'll let her leave with this. Why should they use Ashlyn? Because she has a great slogan.
Ashlyn protects my assets.
There you go, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.